We're also on Rumble. It's rumble.com/CowboysTV for more uncensored videos here. If you're watching on Rumble, thanks for following. If you're watching on YouTube, go support us over there as well as we answer all of your questions as part of today's live mailbag. From Martin Marin, trade down to 25, 27, still get Zion, Green, or Burks. We get a second or third rounder. Yeah, you're not getting a second to move down 1 to 3 spots. I would be very shocked if you got a third. Maybe a team like the Packers get desperate. I would say, a future pick or maybe a fourth and something else is a little bit more in line with the value. But to move down 1 spot from 24 to 25, you're going to get a fifth back more likely. Maybe you get a little bit more. Territory Productions. Do you like Sam Williams in the second round? I don't hate him talent-wise. I think that's about where he'll be on my board. It seems like that's kind of Dan Quinn's guy. We can do that other one, by the way, Jeremy. But you got to trust the off-the-field stuff. That's a pretty big red flag for you. So I would just want to be aware and trust that is good, in the same way it kind of hasn't been so far for Kelvin Joseph, unfortunately. From Boondock Saint, just tuned in. What's the word on Travis Frederick coming back? He's not, to be blunt. I know there might have been an article or two with the sub-headline was not clickbait, but the title kind of was, for being honest. He ain't coming back. He is happily retired. Brian Sexton, 69. Nice. Would you cut Kelvin Joseph? I would. I get it. I know I got the sniffles. I'm sorry. I can't help it. Nasally is all get out. Back to the more serious question at hand. The Cowboys seem inclined to kind of wait and let this play out, but he knew. So that's kind of a big deal for me. Maybe there will be explanations coming soon. But I would not be upset if the Cowboys cut Kelvin Joseph. I promise you that. From Blitzing the Inside, who is more likely to be a Cowboys trade addition? Deebo Samuel, Quinnen Williams, Grady Jarrett, or some random backup offensive lineman? The latter of those ones. Look, I'd love Deebo. I'd love Quinnen. I'd be happy to get Grady Jarrett. But I don't think you're going to get those guys. I would be very happy to settle and trade a 5th-round pick for a guard that could maybe start for me for a year in the meantime. Will the Cowboys trade for a player during the draft? Y for yes or N for no? This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. So if you get the ad break here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. Zaire Brown, what if we trade Gallup for Deebo, AJ, or Scary Terry? Why would those teams do that? You just paid Michael Gallup, so a trade is not very feasible from a contract perspective. I don't think that's a very likely outcome for you. And I think from the opposing team's standpoint, it's really not something that I think is a likely outcome for the Cowboys. And I think it's just it's more Madden style than anything else in the end. Cole Haggerty, if Isaiah Polamalu entered the draft this year, where would he go? Would you take him? Well, he is in the draft. Last I checked, he's probably not going to get drafted. That's my expectation. I know he's got the bloodlines, but the talent isn't quite what maybe some of his relatives were. Sorry. Alicia Melendez. Maybe we could draft Roger McCreary in the 2nd round. He might be there for you. But we also know Dan Quinn loves length. He wants the size and the arm length at corner. And as much as I love McCreary, he's a top 5 corner for me this year, that's not how the Cowboys operate. Just like how they never explored Asante Samuel, really, it's pretty similar from the Roger McCreary standpoint. He just doesn't have the length that they covet. All right, bunch of supers, so it's beer cheers time. Fantasy Island, we go after Deebo. This is 100% Fantasy Island. Okay, so we're in Fantasy Island. Cool. He won't spend $20 million to Cooper, but give $30 million to Deebo and give up 2 picks. plane to plane. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to happen. Not how they operate. Sorry. Okay. From Jerry's illegitimate daughter. Oh, boy, I'm going to have to leave that one on the YouTube side. Why do you think that no matter what the fans want, the Cowboys refuse to make a big splash? I'm convinced they could care less about winning. Their philosophy is they want to always be good. They don't want to sacrifice how the team is built 5 years from now, potentially, to boost their chances right now. And when the quarterback has been healthy for the past decade-ish, they've always been at least 500. 8-8 worst case. They've been a playoff contender every year their QB has been healthy. So from their standpoint, that's working. But that's why it's so frustrating for us, because we know this team is close. And they won't make the 1 or 2 or 3 aggressive moves to go boost themselves. So I don't think it's that they don't want to win. It's that their philosophy for winning is not what it needs to be in 2022. We're also on Rumble, folks. If you want free, uncensored content where I can swear and drink as much as I please, make sure you follow us, rumble.com/CowboysTV. We are trying to grow to platforms that you guys use. So give us a follow, rumble.com/CowboysTV. From Nick Lanham, do you like Martin Emerson to the Cowboys, or what day 3 corner would thrive in Quinn's system? If you can give me Emerson in the 4th, I'm on board with that. That's about where he'll be graded for me. He's got the length, but not a whole lot of the other stuff you really desperately want, although Sean Wright. Tariq Woolen will go 2nd round, I think. He'd be a dream fit for Dan Quinn. I think Caleb Evans from Missouri could also be a good name. If you check out the Zion McCollum, as you're talking about, Jeremy, from Sammy State, small arms, though. So he's not going to be quite the fit for Quinn. If you check out our Kelvin Joseph video from Monday, I had a corner in each round that fits the Dan Quinn style for you. From Todd Jordan, do we hit free agency for the cheap after the draft? Who do we get? Very possible. Todd, I'll tell you this. We will do a video on that in the days following the NFL draft. We'll have a better feel for the needs of this team, and we'll break down all the different players they could go get. From Jonas, if you were running the Cowboys offseason, who would you have signed this free agency? Good question. I would have explored Bobby Wagner. I would have gone hard at one of those edges once I lost Randy Gregory. The Von Miller, Zadarius Smith deals are big, flashy numbers. They're not that bad in terms of the guaranteed money. So I would have just signed a notable starter at one of my spots at need. I would have kept Amari Cooper as well, and I would have pushed some money off in the future, and it wouldn't have been that much in the end. Ishmael to God, I think George Pickens is going to be a steal in round 2. It's scary how high his ceiling is. I'm a big fan of Pickens. I've got an early 2nd round grade on. The medical, of course, is the kind of the question mark there. I think he goes top 45. The Colts at 42 are a very real fit for him. But if he's there in round 2, heck, I might trade up for him because I think he'd be a great addition to this team. From Mark, I'm afraid we are going to waste picks like we did with Wright and Golston. Jerry will draft a bunch of meter guys, hype them up. Remember that 2009? The 2009 draft was a bit different in terms of like the picks that you had. So I understand the concern, but you mean Wright and Golston. So it's a little early to say you've wasted picks, though. You know, like I didn't like the Wright pick at all. I thought that was way too early. So I didn't like that selection. But you'll have picks. You're not going to hit on every single one. But if you hit on some of them, you'll be just fine. For daily Cowboys videos, including news, rumors, and live shows like this one going on right now, hit that big red button and subscribe. It's youtube.com/CowboysTV. For Mark, how's the wife and kid, Tom? Much love to your family. Thank you. My wife also has the sniffles, and she's very tired right now. But everyone's doing well at this point. So, Mark, thank you very much for your support, as always, my friend. From Nick, if Sam Williams is gone, what edge do you go for? Depends on the round. I would love Arnold Ebiketie. I don't think he's there. You could talk me into Boye Mafe, who I don't think is there. That's kind of it for the round 2 guys I'd be okay with. You can talk me into Drake Jackson in the 3rd. Nick Bonito, I think, is more of a 3rd-round guy than he is a true 2nd-round guy. Dominique Robinson, D'Angelo Malone, Cam Thomas, Kingsley Enagbare, who I don't like as a pass rusher that much, could be a fit. I think you want the bursty, bendy guy, which is why guys like Sam Williams, Nick Bonito, D'Angelo Malone, Dominique Robinson all start to make more sense than maybe say what, Jeremy? The Vatek guy, Amari Barno, he's fast. That's kind of it. So 4th round, 5th round, we can have that conversation on him. From Vince, take Lloyd in the 1st and give Micah more snaps at defensive end. I might take a linebacker in the 2nd or 3rd and still give Micah more snaps at DE. I think the Cowboys will continue to use Parsons as their chess piece, depending on matchups, playing him at linebacker and at defensive end. So I'm not going to get too optimistic on that one. Mario, Amari Cooper answered very professionally when asked about him getting traded, even though the Cowboys showed him basically nothing. Am still angry about the trade. Yeah, I feel your frustration. I know you're not alone in that one. From Give Tony the Ball, trade Zeke to the Bills for a 3rd or 4th. Of course. Why would the Bills do that? I think we have to be honest, because this is not the first time I've seen Zeke trade questions on today's live show alone, at least in the live chat. Zeke does not have trade value. He is expensive. New team pays him this for 5 years. Not that much guarantee, but a lot of money still for a running back who has had a massive workload, has battled injuries, and hasn't lived up to his contract. In the modern-day NFL, teams don't want that guy. So there's no real value for Zeke right now. I'm sorry. Now, Zeke's not realistic, but there are other names you could trade away. So let me know. Who is a player you just don't want on the Cowboys anymore? It could be real, could be just an outlandish take. It's up to you guys. Let me know in the comments section. Troy Relative is in the draft. Can get him as UDFA. I don't know who that is, to be honest. I feel like we might have a typo in there. Let me pull up my database here. You mean Troy's relative? Troy Aikman's relative? I don't know who it is. So, Red Eyes Man, sure, if we know who that is. Lamar, 24 hands. We need James Cook in the later rounds. Yeah, but define later rounds. Because, he ain't getting out, I don't think, of the top 100. So, I don't want to spend a top 100 pick on a running back. Leroy Pearson Jr., if the draft doesn't fall in the boys' favor for a tight end, what are your thoughts on Chigo Okonkwo from Maryland? Let me pull up my notes here real quick. I think there will be guys in the 4th round that I think will fit you, or in the 3rd round. I've got a 6th round grade on Okonkwo. There's a lot of upside there, but he's undersized. I don't think he's a very good blocker, and he needs a lot more development. So I'm probably a little bit lower on Okonkwo than others, but if you take him some point on day 3, maybe one of your 5th rounders even, I'd be fine with that one. King Shadow 24, trade Catboy for a shot at Jack on draft night. Who's in? Got it right here. That's it? I'm in. I'll take the shot at Jack. Now, who do you think will win the NFCs? Well, the Cowboys winner, I should say. Y for yes, N for no. Get your votes in, your comments in for me in the comment section right now. Nick Lanham, we take Chad Muma in the 2nd. I'd be fine with that. I got a 2nd round grade on him. Great athlete. I think he's got great instincts for chasing down plays and holding coverage too. So I like this linebacker class a lot. So day 2, day 3, I'd be happy to take one. Not sure the Cowboys will. From Ray Cheney, what do you think about drafting a cornerback in the first 3 picks? It has to be really great value, because your guy you take at guard, at receiver, at tight end even maybe, at edge rusher, they're going to impact your team more right now than that corner will. Because we all want Kelvin Joseph to be the guy, but he barely played last year. Your starters were actually okay. So if the value's right, sure, go for it. But I don't think the Cowboys' early round draft plans are changing in light of the Kelvin Joseph stuff. $5 from Mark here. You have any guess on the vets that might be cut after the draft for free agents who we can sign? Ton of holes to fix, can't do it all in the draft. There aren't that many guys who end up getting cut right after the draft. If names get cut that have interest for the Cowboys, we will break it down, I promise you on that one, Mark. Roger Moore, Zeke goes for $1,310. Is he around for 2 more years? At least 1 more. As we sit right now, the Cowboys have not restructured Zeke's deal. So they could cut him next year if they want to. We'll see if that changes at all. From Jerry's illegitimate daughter, chances of drafting Devontae White. He looks great. He's old, 24 for a rookie. Great athletic ability, lots of flashes. If you trust the off-the-field stuff, there was some domestic violence charges that were then dropped, or family violence, what they were technically called, down in Georgia. If you trust the off-the-field and you're picked over at guard and receiver, I would be okay. I would wonder if it's just if he's going to go between the Cowboys pick in round 1 and their pick in round 2.